Welcome to our exploration of the truly surprising miracle of non-attachment for inner peace. Today, we will uncover how detaching from our desires and expectations can lead to profound tranquility and unshakable inner peace. Let's begin by understanding what non-attachment really means and how it fundamentally alters our interaction with the world. Non-attachment is often misunderstood. It is not about indifference or lack of love and care. Rather, it is a practice of not letting our happiness depend excessively on any specific person, outcome, or material possession. It's about loving freely without imposing conditions or expectations on our relationships and experiences. Why is this important? Because expectations often lead to disappointment, and attachment can lead to suffering when changes inevitably occur. Consider how our lives are continuously shaped by desires and attachments. From the moment we wake up, we're driven by a need to achieve, acquire, and form connections. These are natural human instincts. However, when our emotional state becomes overly dependent on fulfilling these desires, we set ourselves up for inevitable frustration and sadness. Every time something doesn't go as planned, our mood plummets. But what if we could maintain our equilibrium regardless of external circumstances? What would that freedom feel like? In non-attachment, there is a profound freedom that comes from not being swayed drastically by either loss or gain, praise or criticism. It doesn't mean we don't experience emotions. Rather, we don't allow these emotions to dominate our state of being. Think about the last time you felt upset because something didn't go your way. Now imagine facing the same situation without the heavy weight of expectation. Imagine dealing with it calmly, making clear decisions unclouded by desperation or fear. This is the power of non-attachment. To start practicing non-attachment, begin by observing your reactions to small inconveniences or changes in plans. Notice how you feel when things don't align with your expectations. What thoughts race through your mind? How does your body react? Awareness is the first step toward change. By noticing our patterns, we begin to gain the power to change them. Moreover, practice letting go of the need to control everything. Life is unpredictable, and control is often an illusion. By accepting this, we reduce the inner tension that comes from clinging to specific outcomes. Instead of reacting to every twist and turn of life with high emotion, we can learn to respond with a calm, centered presence. This doesn't minimize our effectiveness. In fact, it often enhances it. From a place of calm, our actions are deliberate and focused, not reactive or hasty. Now, consider the relationships in your life. Non-attachment allows us to love others more purely. When we release the need for others to behave in certain ways to make us happy, our relationships can flourish. We stop trying to mold others to fit our ideal, and instead appreciate them for who they truly are. This fosters deeper, more genuine connections. As we conclude this first part of our exploration, reflect on how your life might change if you were less attached to specific outcomes. How would your daily experience shift? How would your relationships transform? Mastering non-attachment, unlocking the path to profound personal and spiritual transformation. In this next part, we delve into the depths of non-attachment as a tool for personal growth and spiritual enlightenment. By understanding and implementing this concept, you can unlock a new dimension of self-awareness and accelerate your journey towards inner peace. Non-attachment, when deeply integrated into our lives, acts as a profound catalyst for personal transformation. It encourages us to look within and recognize that our true essence is not defined by our achievements, possessions, or even our relationships. This recognition is liberating. It frees us from the chains of societal expectations and allows us to pursue a life that truly resonates with our inner self. Consider the nature of our desires. Desires are not inherently negative. They drive us towards growth and help us achieve milestones. However, the problem arises when we become so entangled in these desires that they start dictating our happiness and self-worth. Non-attachment teaches us to pursue our goals passionately, but without attaching our inner peace to the outcome. This approach does not decrease our motivation, but rather refines it. We become motivated by the joy of the activity itself, rather than the need for a specific result. This shift in perspective requires us to redefine success. Success in the realm of non-attachment is measured not by the accumulation of wealth or accolades, but by the level of harmony and contentment within. How peaceful do you feel at the end of the day? Are you able to maintain your composure and integrity in the face of challenges? These become the new benchmarks of a successful life. Embracing non-attachment also enhances our resilience. By not holding too tightly to any concept, person, or situation, we become more adaptable to change. Change is constant and inevitable, but how we respond to it can either be a source of perpetual stress or growth. With non-attachment, we view each change as an opportunity to learn and evolve. We accept the impermanence of all things and find peace in the flow of life's natural rhythms. Now, let's explore how non-attachment can deepen our spiritual practice. Spirituality often involves seeking connection with something greater than ourselves, whether it's a higher power, the universe, or our higher self. Non-attachment clears the path for this connection by stripping away the ego's layers. The ego thrives on attachment to identity, beliefs, and the material world. By loosening these attachments, we open ourselves up to a more profound spiritual experience. We begin to experience our lives and the world around us with a fresh perspective, one that is not clouded by preconceived notions and biases. Furthermore, non-attachment teaches us the art of forgiveness. Holding on to past grievances binds us to those moments and hinders our spiritual growth. Forgiveness is not about condoning wrongdoings, but about releasing ourselves from the burden of resentment. It is a declaration that we value our peace more than our pain. This release is a quintessential form of non-attachment that directly contributes to our inner peace. As you reflect on these concepts, consider how your life might change if you viewed every experience as a step towards growth rather than a test or a threat. How would your reaction to difficult situations change if you detached from the need for a specific outcome? Applying the principles of non-attachment, cultivating healthier relationships, and enhancing decision-making in everyday life. In this exploration, we journey into the practical applications of non-attachment in our daily interactions, both personally and professionally. This segment will provide tangible strategies to cultivate a spirit of non-attachment, fostering healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Integrating non-attachment into our daily lives begins with self-awareness. It requires us to become observers of our own thoughts and emotions. Notice when you are feeling particularly attached to an outcome, a person, or a belief. Is this attachment serving you, or is it causing anxiety and fear? Often, by merely becoming aware of these attachments, we start the process of loosening their grip on our psyche. In personal relationships, non-attachment does not mean indifference. On the contrary, it allows us to love more freely and purely. We can love without needing the other person to fill a void or meet an unrealistic expectation. This way of loving is liberating for both parties. It reduces conflict, as expectations often lead to misunderstandings and disappointment. When we interact with our loved ones from a place of non-attachment, we accept them as they are, without trying to change them to fit our narrative of how they should be. This acceptance builds a stronger, more genuine bond. Consider how this can transform familial relationships, where attachments and expectations often run deep. By practicing non-attachment, family members can support each other's growth without feeling threatened by changes in roles or dynamics. Each member can pursue personal happiness and fulfillment, knowing that their value in the family does not depend on adhering to a prescribed role or expectation. In professional settings, non-attachment is equally transformative. It enables us to take risks and innovate without the paralyzing fear of failure. In today's fast-paced, competitive work environments, attachment to outcomes can lead to high stress and burnout. Non-attachment offers an alternative. Engage fully with your work, give your best effort, but detach from the outcome. This approach not only reduces stress but also opens up space for creativity and innovation. When we are not fixated on a specific result, we are more open to exploring new ideas and alternative solutions. Moreover, non-attachment helps in dealing with criticism and feedback in the workplace. Instead of taking negative feedback personally, we can view it as valuable information that can help us improve. This perspective shifts our reaction from defensive to proactive, enhancing our professional growth and the quality of our work. Another practical aspect of non-attachment is in decision-making. Often, decisions are clouded by emotional biases and fears related to outcomes we are overly attached to. By practicing non-attachment, we can make more rational, clear-headed decisions. We can weigh the available options and potential consequences without our judgment being skewed by intense desires or fears. As we prepare to conclude this part, think about how non-attachment could change your approach to daily challenges and interactions. What would it be like to engage fully in every moment, with every person, without the heavy burden of needing certain outcomes to feel successful or happy? Embracing the impermanence, the liberation of non-attachment. As we approach the conclusion of our exploration into non-attachment, we delve into the profound peace and liberation that arise from embracing this practice. This final segment will illuminate how non-attachment aligns us with the ultimate truths of existence, guiding us towards a life of serenity and deeper understanding. Non-attachment is deeply entwined with the concept of impermanence, one of the fundamental truths of our existence. Everything around us, including our own lives, is in a constant state of flux. Relationships evolve, careers change, and physical forms age and transform. By accepting impermanence, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, reducing the suffering that comes from resisting this inevitable change. Through the lens of non-attachment, we learn to experience life in its fullest, most honest form. We engage with the world more directly, appreciating the richness of each moment without clinging to it when it's time to let go. This ability to let go is not about loss. It's about appreciating the transient beauty of life, much like enjoying the brilliance of a sunset, knowing well that it will fade into night. Consider how our fear of change or loss often holds us back from truly living. We avoid taking risks, shy away from new relationships, or cling to outdated ideas simply because we fear the unknown. Non-attachment frees us from these fears. It empowers us to live courageously and authentically, embracing new experiences and growth opportunities with open arms. The practice of non-attachment also deepens our compassion and empathy. When we are not solely focused on our desires and fears, we become more attentive to the needs and struggles of others. This shift away from self-centered concerns leads to a more compassionate approach to interactions, where we can offer genuine support without an agenda. Our relationships become more about giving than receiving, more about understanding than being understood. Moreover, non-attachment brings clarity to our spiritual journey. It strips away the layers of ego and desire that cloud our perception, allowing us to see ourselves and the world around us more clearly. This clarity is essential for deep spiritual insights and awakening. It helps us recognize our inherent connectedness to all beings, fostering a sense of unity and peace that transcends the superficial divisions of society. As we embrace non-attachment, we find that our pursuit of happiness becomes less about acquiring external things and more about cultivating inner peace and contentment. We realize that true happiness and peace are not contingent upon external circumstances, but are a state of being that we can nurture and expand within ourselves. As you reflect on the principles of non-attachment discussed throughout our journey, consider how they might be applied in your own life. How might your interactions change if you were less attached to specific outcomes? How might your sense of peace deepen if you embrace the impermanence of all things? In embracing non-attachment, we do not become disconnected from the world. Rather, we engage with it more fully, more freely, and with a profound sense of peace. This is the surprising miracle of non-attachment, a gift that continuously unfolds as we practice and deepen our understanding. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of non-attachment for inner peace. As we conclude, remember that each step you take in this practice is a step towards a freer, more joyful, and more peaceful existence. May your journey be filled with insightful experiences and transformative growth.